All right, folks, we are back. This is JE Live, and the Rams have another cornerback. It is Jaylen Watson agreeing to terms on a 3-year deal up to $51 million with $34 million guaranteed. I'm ecstatic. I'm pumped. I think this is a fantastic move by the Rams. And it's kind of like what we were talking about yesterday. I mean, I had it in my mind that he was going to be in play, especially when they made the McDuffie deal. I felt like all of a sudden that could look like a potential reunion in LA. And then, he had the tweet and everything. I still think Job is on the table. I heard the Rams really liked him. We'll see. I don't know if they want to add more money to that room. Job would probably cost a pretty penny as well. But this is a huge get for the Rams, okay? Now you know who your starting corners are. Now you know you have your star, you have your two safeties, you have your defensive line. You could add to the linebacker room, but that's really all that they really need. I mean, you can get a veteran interior defensive lineman. That would help, like a John Franklin Myers. This is a great move by the Rams, and I don't think they're done. Basically, the Rams said, look, we got two guys who have played in the Super Bowl 3 times, have won 2 Super Bowls, have started in those games. Yeah, bring them on over. They're taking the Chiefs guys. Chiefs were trying, by the way. The Chiefs were trying to go out and get Jaylen Watson back. They were trying to extend him, but in the end, he's coming to the Rams with Trent McDuffie. So, man, what a move. This is such a big deal in multiple ways. Okay, so first off, I did my blind, my blind poll yesterday, and yesterday, I believe it was Jaylen Watson who ended up winning. Is that right? Is it Jaylen Watson who ended up winning, or is it Jamel Dean? Either way, it was one of those two. I don't remember, but on Twitter, I did the blind thing, and Rams fans wanted Jaylen Watson. It was pretty obvious after that they wanted Jaylen Watson. Yes, so you guys, I mean, the tribe has spoken, right? You guys wanted Jaylen Watson, and here he is. So, look, I'm gonna put this up. We had this yesterday. I'm going to put it up again. So we had, and hopefully I put it up the right one. So as you can see, the cornerbacks that are off the board, off the market entirely, are cornerbacks C, cornerbacks E, and cornerbacks F. Okay? F was Eric Stokes, E is Jaylen Watson, and C is Monteric Brown. This is a fantastic move by the Los Angeles Rams, going out and getting a player who not only adds some height to the outside, 6'2", really good man coverage, can play zone, and he's a fantastic tackling corner. 69 targeted passer rating last year. I said it. It's hilarious because in the video, when I was talking about trading for Trent McDuffie, I said, I don't know if I would have done this because I think his teammate Jaylen Watson is better at this current moment in time. And now they have both of them. So, love this. I tweeted out when they got McDuffie, it would be the reverse of it, but could see the Rams pull another teammate reunion via trade and free agency like they did signing Robert Woods and acquiring Sammy Watkins from the Bills. I would not be opposed to signing Jaylen Watson after acquiring Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. And that's what they did. And man, they're not done. I really don't believe they're done. I think they're going to go out and they're going to get a receiver. Man, could it be Mike Evans? Could it be Romeo Doubs? Could it be Rashid Shaheed, Jennings? I mean, I guess we'll see. My money right now, if I had to put money on it, would probably be on Romeo Doubs, but don't be surprised. I already know the Rams love Mike Evans. They wanted him, but now the question is, does it make sense when they have Devontae Adams playing the role that they wanted Mike Evans for a few years back when he ended up coming back to Tampa? That's the question. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see, but we're off and running, guys. Adam Schefter said the Rams were going to be active, this afternoon, and here we are. And now you look at this defense, and I'll put this thing up. In my opinion, I think the defense looks really good right now. I don't care what anyone says. I think this defense looks really freaking good right now. Let's put this one up here. I'm becoming a sucker for just screenshotting and putting up. But yes, Rams projected defense now for 2026. Kobe Turner, Poona Ford, Braden Fisk, Jared Verse, Nate Landman, Byron Young, Trent McDuffie, Jaylen Watson, Quentin Lake, Cam Curl, Cam Kinchins. There's a lot of good stuff. But the question, folks, going out and getting Jaylen Watson, is this signaling the end of the bend don't break? Is this signaling more man coverage? I actually think it is. I think it is. This is the richest deal in free agency the Rams have paid a cornerback since when? Since when? Jalen Ramsey wasn't a free agent. Trumaine Johnson wasn't a free agent, right? What's the richest deal the Rams have paid a cornerback? $10 million to Trey White back in 2024? Can you think of it? I can't. Who have they paid at corner? Cortland Finnegan? It's got to be Cortland Finnegan. That's got to be the richest contract the Rams have given out. I got to see now. I should have said cornerback free agent. I mean, it very well could be Trey White. And of course, Google said Jaylen Watson. I know it's Jaylen Watson now. What was it before? It was Cortland Finnegan. Cortland Finnegan got paid 5 years, $50 million. That's the richest deal the Rams organization has given to a cornerback in free agency. At the time, that was the most guaranteed money, $27 million out of his 50, that had ever been given to a cornerback in NFL history. So Cortland Finnegan was the richest contract the Rams have given out to a cornerback in free agency, with the St. Louis Rams reuniting with Jeff Fisher. And now the Rams have made Jaylen Watson the richest cornerback in Rams free agent history. And you know what? He's a player that I just think is underrated by a lot, and he's not going to be very soon. So I am hyped about this. I think this changes the dynamic. I mentioned how Cam Curl would have his best opportunity this year if they're playing more man coverage. Jaylen Watson, Trent McDuffie, you have them. You have Quentin Lake. You have Emmanuel Forbes. They still need to add another corner. Is that going to be in the draft? Is that going to be in free agency? Could they bring back Roger McCreary? Could they bring back, Kobe Durant? Could they bring back Akello? Could they bring back Darion Kendrick? Those are their free agents currently, but they could also go through the draft. My opinion, I feel like the Rams are more likely to go after cornerback in free agency to fill that fourth spot, and then the fifth spot will be a draft pick. That's what I think. So I'm just going to say this. Right now, the Rams don't have really any holes outside of wide receiver 3. Like when you think about it, the Rams don't have any holes outside of wide receiver 3. You could argue they can upgrade at linebacker. They don't have any holes. They need a wide receiver 3, in my opinion. Demario Davis is going back to the Jets. That's kind of cool. Little reunion there. I don't know why. I don't know why he's going there, but man, the only hole the Rams have is wide receiver 3, in my opinion. This is a good day to be a Rams fan. It really is. And I understand not everybody loved the McDuffie thing. And I get that. I didn't love the McDuffie trade immediately, but I do think now having those two, this thing's awesome. This is awesome. And I don't think the Rams are done. I think a wide receiver is incoming. I'm going to say, like I said, I'm going to stick by Dobbs. I'm going to say Romeo Dobbs is the guy that they end up signing. But who knows? Who knows? Money talks, though. I love the Jaylen Watson signing. Let's get to some supers. All right, we got Adrian. Appreciate you with the 2. Much love. Wildman Samurai became a member. I think you've been a member, but it does that. Appreciate you. Cinco, I think we ain't done yet. More moves to come. Yes, I think we see one more guy added today. Who is that? I guess we'll find out, but I mean, I kind of lean towards Romeo Dobbs. I feel like he's going to sign soon. That's kind of my gut feeling. Now, I've been wrong before, but that's kind of my gut feeling. And I in the effort of transparency here, I appreciate everybody saying you called it. I also want to make it very clear. I didn't have Jaylen Watson in my mock offseason. So in the adjustment to the new information that I had yesterday, the tweet and everything, yes. And of course, I mentioned it before. And I'm ecstatic about it. But I don't want to take all the credit. Like, there are people that probably had Watson going to the Rams since the beginning. I don't want to, take credit for that. But I appreciate everybody giving me props. But yeah, Watson's so exciting because this is somebody that's going to come up and play the football. He's going to come up. He's got that quick downhill trigger that I keep saying the Rams love. And they're telling us, man, straight up, they're about tackling. They're about coverage. They're about consistency. I don't need 10 pass breakups. The thing is, when Jaylen Watson was playing as well as he was last year, like, he stopped getting targeted. See, that's the thing, right? That's why, like, Eric Stokes didn't have a ton of targets. Raiders were really smart to bring him back. I don't know if he was smart to come back to the Raiders, but these corners that don't have a lot of targets but start all whatever, how many, 16, 17 games, these corners are not being targeted because they're blanketing in coverage. We have to be understanding of that. They're dominating. So I don't care if a guy doesn't have pass breakups. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. I don't really care. Like, I don't know, man. I'm stoked about this. I am absolutely stoked. Buccaneers just picked up Kenneth Gainwell. That's an underrated signing. Good player. Trubisky heading to the Titans. I'll keep you guys updated on the free agency as well as we talk through this. But yeah, I absolutely love this move. You're staying somewhat young. You're looking at the future just beyond this year, but you're also looking at essentially going all in. And you get two guys that have Super Bowl experience playing with each other. I think a big thing about football is rapport. And I think a big thing about football is gelling and chemistry. And now the Rams in their secondary have a lot of that. And I think they're really gonna love Watson. Watson had above average separation. So his average separation per play was 2.4 yards of average separation, which is above average. I think Watson, who's going to be 28 in September, it's really kind of a perfect opportunity with him. 78 percentile arm length. So kind of couples that with the 5% of percentile that you're getting with McDuffie. This is just a really good player. And the one thing about him that I really like is he's so disciplined. Not a lot of penalties. Okay. And that's the thing with the Rams, is that they are not really going to be interested in corners that commit tons of penalties and can't tackle. That was kind of why I kept saying I don't think Woolen is an option. Woolen had a 22+% missed tackle percentage, okay? I just never viewed him as an option. I mean, I guess they could still add him. I would doubt it. But this is one of the best tackling corners on the market. Him, Jamel Dean, Monteric Brown is pretty damn good. And then, of course, Josh Jobe is a really good tackling corner. They like physicality, man. They like physicality. So, it's not Jobe, and I love Jobe, but I've been saying it for a while. Give me Watson, give me Jobe, give me Jamel Dean, give me Monteric Brown. Those have been my four that I've wanted since the beginning. So, I think this is a massive loss for the Chiefs. They basically just prioritized a running back in Kenneth Walker over a shutdown corner, in my opinion. 17th overall corner, according to PFF this past year. I don't really understand it, but hey, I guess to each their own. He's a stud, and he's going to provide that length on the outside. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think the Rams got a lot better today. And they can still get better. It's not just this move. I mean, I expect them to make other moves as well. But this is really good news. Really, I'm not, not holding back on this one. And this is about, it was 17 million average annual. So it's 2 million more than OTC had. Way more than Spotrac had. And a little bit over what PFF had. So the Rams paid a little bit more than market value. And of course, market value, take that with a grain of salt. But I think it works out well. 34 million guaranteed of the $51 million deal. So if it's 17 million each year, they're basically saying this is a 2-year deal. Okay. There's going to be 2 years fully guaranteed or mostly guaranteed. The third year is probably not going to be guaranteed. Very similar to Cam Curl. In a way, I kind of feel like this is their way of saying, look, we're going to stick with the 3-year deals here, unless you're a cornerstone player. Like they view McDuffie as a cornerstone player. He got a 4-year deal on top of his already deal. So he has 1 year this year, and then it's 4-year extension on top of that. So it's basically a 5-year deal. That's set, right? The way I see it is that the Rams with these 3-year deals are keeping things in place because there's still a chance Matthew Stafford could play out those 3 years. I'm not saying guaranteeing Matthew Stafford plays another 3 seasons, but I would not be shocked. And I think they're telling us with these deals that they're expecting him to play this year and next year. I think way too many people think this is the end of the line. This is the last year. I don't think this is the last year for Stafford. I don't. And I think they're telling us this. Actions speak louder than words, folks. And I think they're telling us this with the way that they're constructing their contracts, with the 2-year, 3-year deal, but basically a 2-year deal. No guaranteed money in the third year. And I think they're telling us because there's also been reports that they're not worried about the quarterback position. They don't view that as a pressing need. So yeah. Alex Anzalone is no longer on the Lions. Thank God. He's headed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Giants just put together the biggest contract for a punter in NFL history. Jordan Stout is headed to the Giants. Record deal. It's 3 years, $12.3 million. I guess he's the highest paid punter right now because I thought Johnny Hacker's deal was bigger than that, but with the Rams. But anyway, absolutely love this. And I love the Rams are all in. But my takeaway from seeing this, look at the younger guys that they're going after. Okay, they brought back Cam Curl, 26, 27 years old. Jaylen Watson is going to be 28 in September. Okay, Trent McDuffie, going to be 26. These are young players. These aren't 32, 33-year-olds. Okay, so it tells me, well, I'll be honest, tells me that they're looking at right now, but they're also looking at it goes beyond 2026. It goes beyond 2026. That's how I feel. So Rams know what they're doing. I'm not worried about, oh, well, they're giving out a lot of money. Yeah. And not worried about it. Not worried about it. So what happens next? The Rams have 2 cornerbacks starting. They have Emmanuel Forbes behind him. I could see them, like I said, bringing back any of the 3. McKello is the least likely just because Aubrey's not there anymore. So I would probably say the most likely is Roger McCreary because the price. But if Kobe's cheap enough, he could come back. I think they're going to want a veteran as CB4. And I think they'll draft CB5. And the reason being is because I think they want to be able to draft the guy they want and not have to be like, oh, he's got a high floor or, a high ceiling. Like, I think they want to just fall in love with a player, draft him and figure it out later. But then again, they might not draft a corner. Technically, they have 2 cornerbacks under contract the next 3 years. They're 2 starters. They might not draft a corner, and that's okay. Mock Draft Monday sure changes tonight. I don't know, man. I do know that next year they have Kobe Turner's going to be a free agent. Puka Nacua is set to be a free agent. Now these guys, I believe, will be extended. Byron Young set to be a free agent. Warren McClendon Jr., Kevin Dotson's in the final year of his contract. Colby Parkinson, Davis Allen, these guys, they're all technically not under contract next year. So that's something to keep in mind. When you're thinking about it, But yeah, I'm going to put a poll. I want to see how hyped are you guys about this move? I think this is fantastic. I'm not trying to just be a homer and agree with what the Rams are doing, but you guys know I've maintained it on this channel. I mean, my verdict in my cornerback video, sign me up. I like Watson a lot. He's not perfect. I don't love the lack of ball production, but what stands out to me is the way he played in his first failed season of not making the playoffs. All this dude knew was starting in the playoffs and getting the Super Bowl. He never wavered in play, even when they were basically out of the race. Watson tackles well. He has a good body for the position. I wouldn't sign him to be a number 1 corner. Ideally, I want him number 2, but I really like Watson, how he translates to this defense. And furthermore, starting the way he did in Super Bowls matters to me. So that's what, I wrote down my notes that I said in my cornerback video. because I had a feeling that he could be in play. And yeah, my pros were elite length and physicality, which is something the Rams are lacking. Getting better each year, has only given up 1 touchdown the last 2 seasons after giving up 10 his first 2. Experienced. He's played in huge games, including multiple Super Bowls. In his last 7 playoff games, he's only allowed 11 catches, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Basically, until this year, Jaylen Watson only knew of a league where he would start in the Super Bowl. He's ready for any moment. Very effective blitzer when used in that instance. Has 4 sacks, 9 pressures, 38 pass rush attempts. Very sound tacklers. Never had double-digit missed tackles in a year. That's really impressive. His best season came in a year where Trent McDuffie struggled and the Chiefs struggled as a whole. A good sign he can work out anywhere. He's tough as hell. Came back from a fractured fibula and tibia to start in the playoffs. He's definitely figured to be a scheme fit based on the body of work, his size, athleticism, not to mention his desire to actually tackle. He can work in zone, and his skill set probably fits Shula's defense more than Spags, as funny as that is. The cons I had for him were the injuries are a tad concerning. He missed 15 games in 4 seasons due to a groin injury. This past year, a fractured fibula and tibia in 2024. Played through a torn labrum in 2023. Not a ton of ball production up until this year. Watson had 2 straight seasons of no picks. He doesn't have great recovery speed, so he can struggle with some of those shiftier receivers in the league. He's going to cost a lot anytime you're trying to find a 3-time Super Bowl starting corner coming off his best season. You are going to have to fork up money. Watson is young. It will cost maybe upwards $20 million per year, depending. Did not cost up to $20 million, so that's a good sign. Ooh, Seattle just lost their safety to the Bears, Kobe Bryant. Damn. With rumors of Trent McDuffie being traded to the Chiefs, could choose to move him and extend Watson, which is something to keep in mind. Well, they didn't. So Watson is a Ram, and I'm very happy about it. Very happy about it. Looks like Seattle's losing everybody, but you know what? These guys are going to get paid a lot. They won a Super Bowl. This is a common occurrence. Teams overpay for Super Bowl champion players, and I think Seattle's being smart. I mean, Kobe Bryant's a loss. Don't get me wrong. Kenneth Walker's a really good player. I've been saying he's one of the more underrated running backs in football. Now, I think he's overrated. I think he's incredibly overrated right now. Okay? It made no sense with Seattle having to do all those extensions and still having to bring guys back and not having much of a cornerback room currently. Made no sense for them to sign a running back, bring back a running back. So I have no issue with what they ended up doing. The Kobe Bryant one is going to sting, though. He's got a quick downhill trigger. Vikings just signed James Pierre. That's an underrated player. I was looking at him for the Rams. He hasn't played a lot, but man, he's a really good player. Let's see. It is funny that they got 2 Chiefs corners. I'm looking at what Schefter had to say about this. That's funny. They're importing the cornerbacks from Kansas City. Imported from Kansas City is wild. Titans just signed Daniel Bellinger. That's a really good move, and I'm happy for him. I liked him for the Rams. Obviously, when they signed Higbee, I felt like that was unlikely. Bellinger reunites with Brian Dable in Tennessee. They didn't really utilize him, though, with the Giants. So, I don't even know why he wants to go with Dable, but is what it is. Kobe Bryant had 7 interceptions over the last 2 years and started 34 games, 7 forced fumbles, 17 pass breakups. He is headed to the Bears on a 3-year, $40 million deal. So, yeah. I mean, I just don't know how, if you're looking at around the league and you already saw that this Rams team, I mean, they should have won the Super Bowl last year. You saw what they were building. Now, the best offense in the league has virtually nobody leaving the offense. Nobody is leaving in free agency, okay? They might extend Warren McClendon Jr. this offseason and Kevin Dotson. They don't have to extend Warren McClendon Jr. and Kevin Dotson. They can still go into the season and they can still do their thing. So, my thing is, when you had the number one offense in football scoring 30 plus a game, and they're all returning, that includes the MVP quarterback. Awesome, I'm losing my voice. That includes the MVP quarterback. That includes Puka Nacua, the best receiver in the league. That includes the most efficient run game in the league. That includes 19 touchdowns receiving from the tight ends. Going back to the 13 personnel, that includes a top 10 offensive line. That includes the best red zone threat in the league. You want to argue with me? Fine. Devontae Adams led the league in touchdowns with 14, and he had 14 with 3 games to go that he missed, and no one came close. So, look, the Rams, literally, they add one more receiver, and they're locked in. That you can't touch that offense. That offense looks so good right now. But now the defense. You go out, you get McDuffie. You go out, you get Jaylen Watson, right? So you have those pass rushers up front. You have the run defender. Obviously, Poona Ford was just a huge addition. Nate Landman's a really good run stopper. You re-sign Quentin Lake in the middle of the season, and you re-sign Cam Curl. What do the Rams really need to do? This is where you want to be. The only starter that they truly need right now, and starter is a little bit of a question, but wide receiver 3. Okay? We're talking about the best damn football team in the league right now. How can you say the defending Super Bowl champion Seahawks are better than the Rams on paper? They just lost Kenneth Walker. Their starting running back had a season-ending injury in the playoffs. How could you say Seattle's better right now? That's the reality of what we're seeing. Seattle doesn't have Kenneth Walker. They'll figure out their running back issue, sure. They just lost their offensive coordinator, okay? He went to become a head coach. They lost Kobe Bryant in the secondary. Josh Jobe and Tariq Woolen are free agents, right? Like, there's not a scenario here where Seattle right now is better than the Rams. No scenario. None. And if Seattle's not better than the Rams, then who is? The Eagles, who just lost Jalen Phillips to the Panthers. Great move, by the way, for the Panthers. If Phillips stays healthy, the Panthers finally have a legitimate closer, and they were still winning games with Derek Brown's interior rushing. But, like, you go out, and if the Rams go out and they get, like, Shaheed, or they get Dobbs, or they get Mike Evans, I think they're out of Mike Evans' price is going to be too much. But I don't know. I still want Mike Evans, if possible. But the point being is that if you were at home and you are not a Rams fan, you were praying to God the Rams didn't fix their cornerback issue. When you saw McDuffie come up, you're like, okay, you know, they got McDuffie, but they gave up a lot to get him, right? They paid McDuffie, but they paid him a lot to get him. When they go out and it comes up on the feed, the Rams signed Jaylen Watson. Now people are worried. Now non-Rams fans are like, shit, this is a problem. Because I'm not being overzealous here. I'm not going crazy. I'm being very, I think I'm being very realistic here. The Rams didn't have too many needs coming into this year. And they have addressed the biggest need, which was corner. The Lions just signed Cade Mays to be their center. 3 years, $25 million. That's the biggest thing with this deal, in my opinion, with Jaylen Watson, is that the Rams' biggest need was corner, and they just addressed it with no issue. That gets me really excited. So, yeah. And I don't think they're done, like I said. Adrian, let's not forget, we're 3 in division, so easier schedule. Two. Keep in mind, the 49ers have the third easiest, the third place schedule. But I get what you're saying. I mean, it's definitely fair. Appreciate the super there. We got the lemon from Wildman Samurai. Hey, Jake, what moves are next? What would your mock draft look like now? I mean, right now, at 13, I'm looking at trade down. I'm looking at drafting. I know this is high for people, but by the time the draft comes along, he's going to be a top 15 pick, I believe. Drafting Omar Cooper Jr., drafting Kenyon Sadiq, drafting a Peter Woods, somebody like that, or trading down. I'm not against drafting Mekhi Lemon. I'm not against drafting Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate. I mean, I think Omar Cooper Jr. is the best receiver in this draft. So for me personally, it doesn't make any sense to take another receiver if I feel like the best receiver in the draft is right there. But I think the Rams now, who, by the way, regardless, if the Rams sign Dobbs, Evans, whoever, I still think they draft a receiver. If the Rams choose not to go receiver in the first, then I think it's going to be like Chris Bell in the second. And I think he'll fall because of the season-ending injury. I think Chris Bell reminds me so much of A.J. Brown, so keep an eye on him. This is a great question. I would need to have like the mock in front of me. We'll do mock draft Monday later. I want to wait a little bit, see if the Rams make another move. I still anticipate them to sign a receiver today, mainly because, gotta be honest, like it sounded like Romeo Doubs was going to sign today. Like Jennings would probably follow suit. Like it just feels like those guys will have deals done by the end of today. I think this is fake, but I see something like Rashid Shaheed is going to the Raiders. I mean, I think it's fake, but teams have offered Mike Evans north of $27 million per year, according to Greg Auman, who covers the Buccaneers. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, a 2-year deal worth $54 million for Mike Evans allows you to have the 2 best separators in football in Mike Evans and Devontae Adams. If you don't believe me, I'll put it up on the screen. Let's do that. Wild man, really do appreciate the lemon here. Let's put it up on screen because I don't get the feeling y'all believe me. So here we go. Oh, not that. There we go. I feel really confident the Rams are going to sign one of Mike Evans, Romeo Doubs, Keenan Allen, Jawan Jennings, Jalen Naylor, Rashid Shaheed. Like, I feel really confident they're going to. But as you can see here, fantasy data points, right? Win rate. Mike Evans is second in win rate, second in separation score. Devontae Adams is first. That would be fun. Jennings would be a perfect fit at wide receiver 3. Romeo Doubs would be a perfect fit at wide receiver 3. Keenan Allen would be a great fit. Rashid Shaheed would be a really good fit. Jalen Naylor would be a really good fit. I think Jalen Naylor's that one player out of the wide receiver room whose numbers don't back up how good he is. And I think he's been held back because, well, let's put it this way. J.J. McCarthy is not very good. Right? So that's what I would say. I think Naylor would be a good option. But Deuce Falco coming in. Appreciate you with the 10. If Rams lock down Puka, they go all the way. Well, I mean, doesn't really matter if they lock him down or not this year because they're gonna do their thing regardless. But let's see here. Appreciate the lemon there, Deuce. Steve, thank you for the broccoli. Man, Jake, so hope we done with Ben Don't Break defense. I feel Shula better when he dictates and is aggressive with defense. Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but the signs, if you're looking at the signs, if you're following the signs, they definitely point to a world where the Rams are moving away potentially from the soft shell zone coverage. It's not to say that they won't ever run zone coverage, but maybe that bend don't break style they are moving away from. It feels that way. I could absolutely be wrong. It's not that I'm making a sweeping declaration that they're going to do that, but yeah, it just McDuffie, Watson feels like you're paying those guys not to be zone corners, but to help you on the outside. So yeah, appreciate you, Steve. David, appreciate you. Why can't I think of anything blue? The blueberry? I guess we'll go with the blueberry. Convince the Rams, watch your channel for ideas. David, I appreciate that. I know the Rams have watched my channel before. I don't think they watch them for ideas, but I guess you never know. I was told they read my articles too, and I was nowhere near as big as I am now, and I'm still not that big. But like, I have a really quality following on here, over 32,000 subscribers, thanks to you amazing people. But when it comes to, like, when I was writing, I didn't have that many people following. So if they were interested then I guess they're interested now. We're getting closer to 33,000, by the way. We have 32,727 subscribers. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I'll be covering the Rams 24/7 per usual, pretty much. So definitely be sure to get in on the action there. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. Big Rick, thank you for the blueberry here. What do we do at 13 now? I think, and we were kind of talking about this earlier. I think they go best player available. Is that Sadiq? Is that Peter Woods? Like, I don't know, but I think they go best player available. Wow, the Daniel Bellinger contract is in, and it is a big one there. 3 years, $24 million. He's absolutely worth that. The stats don't indicate that. This feels like a very Colby Parkinson move where you see the potential and you're paying him before he's actually shown the potential all the way through with the numbers. But I'm rooting for Bellinger. I think he could be a really good piece for Cam Ward. He's so athletic, man. He's a good blocker. I think he would have been a great fit for the Rams. Big Rick, Jake knew about this. Give us lotto numbers next. Yeah, I've had no luck at the lotto, so you probably don't want my lotto numbers, but appreciate you, Big Rick. Much love. Wild Man Samurai coming in with the broccoli. What's next, Jake? I think we need a deep threat receiver. What's the needs in the draft now? Right now, what I would say, they need a backup quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is officially a free agent. And I don't trust Stetson Bennett to hold up an entire season if he had to play starting quarterback for, in relief for Stafford. So backup quarterback, my guess is Marcus Mariota is the guy. Or they trade for somebody. Is that Will Levis? Is that Anthony Richardson? I think it's very unlikely it's Anthony Richardson. But yeah, I mean, I think Mariota is the guy. They could add a running back. I think it's unlikely. I want to see them just stick with their three, but who knows? Wide receiver, preferably a guy that can stretch the field. But I see, wide receiver 3 here. It makes a lot of sense. Adding another tight end doesn't seem as pressing. They could sign another one, but I don't know if they do. I think they probably go via the draft. Offensive line, looking at a swing tackle, I'd say Josh Jones from the Seahawks makes a lot of sense. There are some concerns, in my opinion, when it comes to Alec Jackson. He's missed time due to blood clots twice. Love Alec Jackson, appreciate him, but it's fair to say that adding a starting caliber backup, paying a little bit extra money to have that security in a win now season makes a lot of sense. I mean, I thought Josh Jones was spectacular when Charles Cross was out for the Seattle Seahawks. So I know they like him. We'll see if they get a deal done, but I was told that that's a guy that they really like. I'd love to see them add a guard. Is that Elton Jenkins, from the Packers? Is that James Daniels, who was released by the Dolphins? Somebody like that I think would really help. Interior defensive line, I think adding somebody like John Franklin Myers, bringing him back after he only played one season in 2018, such a bizarre sequence, but he and the defensive line coach just didn't get along, and so they ended up cutting him. Was, by the way, named the Rams Rookie of the Year and strip sacked Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, but glad they got rid of him for Tanzel Smart. That was genius. Very smart on their part. But would love to see John Franklin Myers back. I think he would provide kind of that inside-outside versatility that you see with Desjuan Johnson. But I think he's more made for the interior than Desjuan is. And I think it'd be a really good fit, just having him in that rotation, being able to rush the passer, being able to stop the run. That could help. Linebacker, I'd love to see him go after Devin Lloyd. Just throw caution in the wind and say, you know what? We're going to dominate your ass. We're going to go out and get Devin Lloyd. We're going to have a linebacker that can kind of fly all over the field, can obviously do such a great job in coverage, and can be a ball hawking linebacker. And that's what we're going to do. I would love to see that. However, I don't see that. I think it's more than likely they look at the draft. Maybe they bring back somebody who can help them in special teams and at linebacker that they used to have, in Jake Hummel, who's a free agent. I kind of feel like Jake Hummel's going to join Harbaugh, over with the Giants. But if he doesn't, they could bring somebody like that back. They could bring back Troy Reeder. I know a lot of you are upset hearing that, but Troy Reeder is a really good special teamer, and I think they're going to prioritize special teams when it comes to linebacker play. Edge, they could go out and get a vet. My guess is if they went with a vet, it would be either Bradley Chubb or it would be Cam Jordan. Corner, they're probably good for now, as far as getting like an impact guy. I don't know if they'll get Job. I do know that they like Job a lot, but I could see them bring back McCreary, Kobe, and unlikely, but maybe even Akello, and maybe Darian Kendrick, and AJ Green. Look out for him as well. They really liked him, and the Dolphins took him off their practice squad. And then safety, I feel like they're good, but if they add a safety, it'll be Rayshawn Jenkins from the Browns coming over. I think Bubba Ventrone gets at least one or two of his guys. My guess is right now it would be Rayshawn Jenkins, and they would sign Corey Bojorquez, to be the punter. And it looks like Ravens free agent center Tyler Linderbaum has agreed to a insane record deal, 3 years, $81 million to join the Raiders. Wow. So I think everybody and their mother thought he was going to go to the Bears after Dahlman called it quits. And now the Bears, after freeing up all that money, they don't end up getting Crosby, and they don't end up getting Linderbaum. Which tells me, by the way, the Bears are about to get Mike Evans, I think. I think they're going to get Mike Evans. That's a lot of money, man, for a center. He's a stud. There's no doubt about it. He's a stud, but that's a lot of money for a center. I don't know, man. I don't know about that one. Good Lord. 3 years, $81 million. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy money. That's the most for a center in NFL history. That's $27 million a year for a center. Like, dude, don't get me wrong. Center's really important, but that's crazy. But yeah, Wildman, I don't know if I answered this, but I agree. I think they need a deep threat and the needs in the draft now. I don't know if there are needs. I think there's wants, and I think the Rams are going to be able to operate however they want. If they want to draft anybody at this point, they have an argument too, because there's going to be free agents in every position group after this year. And keep in mind, guys, just a reminder, in the NFL draft, you are not just drafting, right? You're not just drafting for this year. You're drafting because you want to get a cost-effective player for the next 4 seasons. So sometimes you can draft and get somebody that can play right away, but that's not always the case. And the Rams have done this. They've shown patience. They've also gone out and gotten starters. 6th round, 5th round, 2nd round, doesn't matter. They've gotten starters. So, yeah. Looks like Algier is headed to the Cardinals. Now, this is interesting because Tyler Algier is joining the Cardinals after they just brought back James Conner in a surprising move. I thought that they would have cut Conner, but he clearly means too much to them. So they're keeping him and adding Tyler Algier on a $6 million a year deal. I think this is an absolute steal. And by the way, I think this hurts Seattle. This is one of the players that I think Seattle was looking at. This is a good move for Arizona and definitely it's good to see. So yeah, I like this. Crazy Day says, let's go. Thank you for the broccoli. And I'm with you on that. Very, very excited about, the way this turned out. Like I'm a big fan of Watson's game. Sean, thank you for the 5. These moves feel like they are a message to Stafford that the Rams are not only in it for this year, but next year too. Great coverage and insight, Jake. I appreciate that. And that's exactly what I'm feeling as well. The Rams are kind of sending a signal to Stafford like, look, we're putting together a team that can win this year and next year if you stay. If you leave, well, we'll figure it out. But they're definitely, it's enticing what they're doing, putting it together for sure. I still think he's going to play another 2 years. I don't think he's going to retire after the season like everyone else does. I think he retires after next season or even plays another year, but next season feels more than likely. My guy Lawrence, how we doing? Are we out on Mekhi Lemon? I'm not out on Mekhi Lemon, but like I'm not as high on Mekhi Lemon as I initially was. And of course, the reason being is because I had people just peddling Mekhi Lemon to me all the time. And I'm like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Let's get another receiver. I mean, like right now, I don't love the wide receiver 3 option. But as I've come to watch more receivers, I don't think Mekhi Lemon is even better than Omar Cooper Jr. And I think I like Chris Bell as a 2nd rounder more than spending a 13th overall on Mekhi Lemon. That's my issue. I think when you look at this draft, I think there's a lot of depth at the receiver position. So yeah, that is fascinating for sure. Let's see here. P-Train, Sonny Styles, a pick 13. Thank you for the blueberry. Yeah, hate to break it to you, P-Train. Sonny Styles will not be there at 13. You'd have to trade up. So I don't think that is a possibility, unfortunately. I think he's a really good player, but I think he's going top 5. Probably to the Giants at 5, if I had to guess. If not earlier. But appreciate you. Zaylor Swift coming in with another blueberry. Need that wide receiver 3, though, LOL. I agree. By the way, just to explain how ridiculous this $27 million contract is per year for Tyler Linderbaum, Creed Humphrey is the 2nd highest paid center, was the 1st until today. He got $18 million a year. Is Linderbaum $9 million a year better than Creed Humphrey? Like, that's where it's just like, all right, that's a little ridiculous. And thanks again, Raiders, for nuking the center market. The center market is just completely destroyed now. Anyway, Dynamic, thank you for the 2. I wish we will draft McCoy still. Here's the problem with McCoy, okay? Hasn't played football in over 500 days. Like, he's still not, like, he didn't feel comfortable about going at the combine. There are concerns there. There are genuine concerns there. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. If Delane is there at 13, I still think, if he's the best available, then you take him. But yeah. Abigail, thank you for the 5. Seeing how much fun Nines seemed to have last year feels like as long as we keep him healthy, he will play maybe 2 to 4 more years. I mean, it's not crazy to assume that. 38 this year, he'll be 39 next year. He could play till he's 40. He's actually mentioned in pressers in the past that he would probably retire at 40, retire by 40. So it doesn't seem like a crazy thing. What's really cool, by the way, is that we had the trade for Matthew Stafford back in 2021, and it was right after the 2020 season. Matthew Stafford has played with the Rams. He's going in to his 6th season as the Rams starting quarterback. I don't know. There's something really cool about that. I mean, he played 12 years in Detroit, so he'd have to play 7 years to match Detroit, which he's not going to do. I just don't see him playing until he's 45. That's just me. But it's cool that we're talking about a guy who, when they acquired him, we knew he'd play a decent amount of time, but I mean, we're looking at him when it's all said and done. He could very well have played 7 years with the Rams, 8 years with the Rams tops, and that's pretty crazy when you think about it. We've gotten to the point now where Jared Goff has played more seasons in Detroit than he has with the Rams. This upcoming season, Jared Goff will have played more seasons in Detroit than he did in LA. That's pretty wild when you think about it. We're getting to the point where Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford this year will have played more seasons in LA than Jared Goff did with the Rams. It's just a reminder, Stafford's been around for a decent amount of time now with the Rams. It might seem like it was just yesterday they acquired him. He's been your starting quarterback for now more than a half decade. It's pretty cool when you think about that. But yeah, Abigail, really do appreciate that, and I tend to agree. I think that makes a lot of sense. Wide receiver market is really, really quiet. I mean, I'm not hearing anything right now. What's going on with the wide receiver market? I don't Because I saw before it hit noon, it seemed like Dobbs was going to not come back to the Packers. Someone reported, I think it was Schefter, reported Dobbs wasn't going to come back to the Packers and would sign early on. Yeah, I don't know. But it definitely seems really quiet at that position, which I guess, we shall see. I know we have Evans wants $27 million, or not they wants, but teams are offering him $27 million. We have that Dobbs and Jennings are not returning to their respective teams. So Jennings will be leaving the 49ers and Dobbs will be leaving the Packers. Jennings already informed the 49ers today he will be signing elsewhere in free agency. I'm trying to think, who else? The worst kept secret was supposed to be Wan'Dale Robinson going to the Titans. Everybody was reporting that before free agency kicked off. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to the Titans. And you would have thought the way people were reporting that, it would have come out as the first thing today. But the first thing that came out when free agency started was Alec Pierce coming back on a 4-year, $116 million deal to the Colts. And I have to be honest here. Wanted Alec Pierce badly. I think way too many people are looking at this like it's a lot of money. He's not worth it, whatever. I tend to disagree. He's the best deep threat, vertical threat in the NFL. He's averaging over 22 yards per reception. He is a much improved route runner. He's great in the run game. He's not just your one-trick pony, go down the field, Ted Ginn, Darius Hayward-Bay. I feel like way too many people are acting like he is. And money back then versus now. What, a $27 million deal now isn't the same as it used to be. The Saints are officially signing Travis Etienne. Damn. So Travis Etienne is going to the team. My dark horse before free agency, I picked the Saints to be kind of that dark horse sleeper team. I'm 2 for 2. I picked the Patriots to be the dark horse last year. They go to the Super Bowl. And the year before that, I picked the Commanders, and they end up going to the AFC Championship game. The Saints get better today. They go after, and they go out and they get Travis Etienne. I think he's a great fit for a young quarterback. And Tyler Shuck can dump it off to him. Obviously, we know what he can do in the run game. In a way, the Saints didn't get better today because they're also losing Demario Davis to the Jets. So, we'll call it a stalemate, I guess, because Davis can still play at a high level. So Malik Willis went to the Dolphins? How did I miss that? Malik Willis went to the Dolphins. That's interesting. So Arizona's going to get Jimmy G, right? Oh, another one. Finally, Wan'Dale Robinson is a Titan. Let's go. That was that took way too long, man. That was the most reported thing before free agency, and I was cracking up at how long it was taking to come out. Well, it's finally happening. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to the Titans. The reason why I'm ecstatic for that, or I'm celebrating, is because I want wide receivers to start. I don't want them to go off the board, but Wan'Dale wasn't an option for the Rams, in my opinion. So I wanted receivers like that to go off the board That way, we're more likely to get a deal done quicker. Like, ideally, no pun intended, I would like to see, like wide receiver run right now. Like, I'd like to see this just start a run on wide receivers. I want to see the Rams sign 2 guys, and that would be great. That's what I want. Okay, so this is nuts. I don't know what insiders are over there at Poly Market, but apparently Mike Evans, the favorite to land Mike Evans is the Los Angeles Rams over on Poly Market right now. I would normally say take that stuff with a grain of salt, but man, anybody can get in on Poly Market, and when you have, and that's kind of the issue, and when you have that kind of insider thing going on, there could be people like, yo, I know I'm an insider, I know he's going to go there, and then you just start buying his stock over on that prediction market. So Albert Breer's reporting that Mike Evans' camp told teams he had 1 year, $27 million offer from someone. If you're the Rams, how do you not consider that? How do you not consider a 1 year deal for Mike Evans? $27 million, you use void years, and you make it work. I'm not saying that's 100% what they'll do. But man, like, they already show that they're being aggressive. I gotta be honest with you though. Everything that's been done so far, I think if the Rams were to do one more move and I could dictate which player they sign, I think I would say Devin Lloyd. If you could add Devin Lloyd to this defense, put him at linebacker, start him, and then, of course, you have Landman. But if you put Devin Lloyd in the middle, I don't know how you could say that this defense on paper isn't top 5 in the game. Like, you think about that. You got Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Poona Ford, Byron Young, Jared Verse, Devin Lloyd, Nate Landman, Trent McDuffie, Jaylen Watson, Quentin Lake, Cam Curl, Cam Kinchins. Devin Lloyd, the thing about him is he provides something the Rams don't currently have. At linebacker, as much as I like Landman, we all do. Great leader, really good run defender, and obviously he can punch the ball out. But the thing about Devin Lloyd is that he is great in coverage. Devin Lloyd is a coverage linebacker. He's somebody that can make plays on the football. So, we got news now. So Wan'Dale Robinson's deal is a 4-year, $70 million deal with the potential to go up to $78 million. So if we're doing the math on that, that is $17.5 million a year. That is not anywhere near as much as I thought he was going to get. So that's interesting. Did he sign too early? I don't know. The Chiefs just signed Kyrus Tonga, 3 years, $21 million. I don't really know what the Chiefs are doing, man. They signed Kelsey for $15 million and they let both of their cornerbacks go. And then they signed Tonga and Kenneth Walker. Not really sure. Falcons are signing Jahan Dotson to a 2-year, $15 million deal. That seems like a lot. I don't really know what Dotson has done to deserve that. But then again, that offense sucked last year. Wasn't good play calling with the Eagles. And ETN is getting $13 million per year from the Saints. 1,000-yard rusher last year. Great pass catcher. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. So I don't know if the wide receivers are going to start heating up because we did just see we did just see Dotson go right after Wandale, so I guess we'll see. But appreciate y'all being in here. I mean, hey, the Rams only made one move so far, and it was a pretty big one. And I don't get me wrong, still love Dean, still love Job. I mean, I told you I was going to be ecstatic if they got one of Watson, Monteric, Job, Dean. They got one of them. Olamide Zaccheaus went to the Falcons as well earlier before I went live. So the Falcons added 2 receivers to the mix. I got to be honest. Olamide Zaccheaus and Jahan Dotson is really underwhelming if I'm a Falcons fan. Like, I would have rather just had them take that money and put it into one receiver. I don't really know about that one. It doesn't appear that anything has happened yet. We'll probably log off for a little bit because I don't want to stream all day. If the Rams, hold on, what was that? Where the hell? I just saw something. Oh, never mind. That doesn't help me. That was just repeating something that was said earlier. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. Amik Robertson, 2 years, $16 million to the Commanders. All right. Well, doesn't appear like anything has come up yet. There's been a lot of deals. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There's been about 30 deals so far. Stupid refresh isn't working over on Twitter. Saints just signed former Ram David Edwards. So he's going to be one of their starting guards, I take it. It's quiet over in the AFC West. Rams signed Jaylen Watson, Tyler Algier to the Cardinals, but Seattle and San Francisco haven't done anything, which honestly, the more time that goes on makes me feel like Josh Jobe is going back to Seattle. I don't know where Tariq Woolen is going. But yeah, more time that goes on, it makes me feel like Josh Jobs going back to Seattle. They lost Kobe Bryant, so I feel like there's got to be something there. Edwards is a good pickup. He's really developed into a quality guard. Zaylor, thank you for the blueberry. Love the two. Would love an alpha linebacker, someone to push Landman. I mean, yeah, that to me is Devin Lloyd. I think Devin Lloyd would just take this whole thing to a whole other level. It would be all right based on what they've done this offseason, signing a guy that's going to be 28, signing a guy that's going to be 26, or trading for a guy that's going to be 26 and signing him, re-signing Cam Curl. If they're sticking with that, then honestly, Mike Evans would not really fit that mold. If they're kind of trying to look, at guys that can help right now and the future, Mike Evans wouldn't be the guy. Dobbs is super young, so he would definitely be an option. He could also replace Devontae Adams in a sense when he retires. Don't try and use over the cap free agency. Good God, dude. This site is totally cooked. So much traffic. To be fair, I get it. I mean, it is, but you got to have your servers ready for that. That's not great. Okay. So the youngest wide receiver in free agency is Sky Moore. After that's John Mechie, then Tyquan Thornton, and then Romeo Dobbs. Dobbs is 25. He'll be 26 in April. What's Lloyd's value at this point? Well, Lloyd, I think he's 27, right? Devin Lloyd is he older than I thought? He's not 28, is he? No, he's 27. Okay. He's 27 and his market value is 20.1 million according to Spotrac. The Raiders just signed Jalen Naylor. That's who I had projected to go to the Rams. I think he's an incredibly underrated talent. Was playing with bad quarterback play and was behind Justin Jefferson, who was also having a down year because of bad quarterback play, and Jordan Addison. So the Raiders get Jalen Naylor on a 3-year, $35 million deal. That's way more rich than I expected, but good for him. Giants released punter Jamie Gillen. Bears signed Neville Gallimore. Dude, Neville Gallimore was a stud in that playoff game against the Eagles. So I would imagine the wide receiver market's going to start heating up. Right? I mean, just had another wide receiver go off the board. Abigail, thank you for the 2. See Jimmy G going to Min more than Arizona. Thoughts? That's a good point. I would say, I mean, it depends. Like where, what are the thoughts on Kyler Murray? I think it does make sense though. Kevin O'Connell. It's like Kevin O'Connell didn't have familiarity with Jimmy G. He was gone, but yeah, Jimmy G being in that offense, I could see it. I think he's going to go to the Cardinals. I think he's going to go with Mike LaFleur. I would probably assume that, but appreciate the blueberry there. David Onyemata is going to the Jets on a 1-year, $10.5 million deal. Yeah, I don't know. Are the Jets just trying to like win 8 games? I mean, it looks like they're trying to build a team that wins 8 games. I don't know why somebody reported it doesn't look like the Browns are takers for Mike Evans. It's like, why the hell would Mike Evans go to the Browns? He said he wants to play for a Super Bowl. Why the hell would Mike Evans go to the freaking Browns? That doesn't even make sense. Thank you for the 10 and the lemon, Crowherd. Jake, how much do you think the corner blitz rate will increase this season? These two, especially Watson, are great blitzers, love to hit, very physical. Watson reminds me a bit of Ramsey in that. Oh, they are going to blitz the hell out of these guys. And they're going to use their creativity when doing it. I have no doubt. So they're gonna blitz a lot. I would expect a lot of blitzing with this group. Still waiting on the wide receivers. I don't. Some of these teams, I have no idea what these guys are. I don't know. I'm trying to follow it. It's tough because there's like all this different stuff, and you're trying to like filter it out. But I just thought it was funny. The Rams are favorite for Mike Evans on Poly Market. Now I'm curious. This Poly Market. Oh, Tampa is now the favorite. Rams just dropped 21%. It's Tampa at 44%, Rams at 28%, 49ers at 15%, Bears at 13%. Do I have to go into each one of these and check? They don't have one for Romeo Dobbs, do they? No, they don't. He's not big enough. I don't feel like they have many, but they just so happen to have one for Mike Evans because it's Mike Evans. Yeah, the Rams were favorited, and then Tampa shot up. So, again, I don't know what you can even make of this. Like, I don't know how valid this is, but yeah. I saw David Onyemata to the Jets. I think I'm going to take a break. I know I hate leaving thousands of you in here, but I also don't just like sitting here and just like scrolling and not talking. And I get distracted, so it's not great content. I want the best for you guys. So, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I'm sure we'll be live again later today talking about a new deal. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Much love. And we shall see. We shall see what the Rams do from here on out. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. We're going to have plenty of content on this channel, obviously. Peter Schrager just said that the Bucs are desperate to bring back Mike Evans. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, Polymarket also says that. Not saying to go off entirely just Polymarket, but yeah. Real quick, I'm just gonna scour the web so I don't miss anything. Because I would hate to log off and then, oh yeah, the Rams signed somebody. Why'd you log off just now? I don't see anything. Okay, cool. Didn't want to log off at the wrong time. So appreciate you guys. Much love. And we'll be live later on. And of course, as soon as the Rams, something happens with the Rams, I'll go live. So appreciate you guys. And Jaylen Watson's a Ram. I'm really excited to talk about that and cover this team moving forward. That's all I got for you guys right now. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day if I don't see you. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on all social media at JK Bogan. Later, folks.